Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi guys, welcome to episode 572 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Heidi. And I'm super happy you're here. And I love that we can hang out, even if it's just for a few minutes twice a week. I mean, together, we're really building something inside ourselves that makes us stronger and happier and more at peace. And that inner peace is something that makes the rest of our life flow. Even though it's not always perfect, we know it's not. We know we're going to get on the other side of it and be just fine. In fact, those times when life throws you a curveball instead of knocking you out, that inner peace allows you to see that it's actually redirecting you to where you're meant to be. I love that. It's actually working in your favor. So when you hear someone say things like that, what I just said, things are always working in your favor, or how about when something bad happens and you hear, well, there's something good that will come from this. How does it make you feel when you hear that? Does it sound Pollyanna to you? Does it sound like something that's nice to hear, or maybe it's true for others, but it's not true for you? I'm asking that because I say those things to myself. I say things are always working in your favor. I say that a lot. And I say it to other people too, all the time, because I truly believe it. And the reason why I'm talking about it now is, unless you've been living under a rock, and good on you if you are, but if you're on social media or the internet at all, you probably saw the astronomer CEO and his head of HR getting caught on the Coldplay camera at their concert. And they could have gotten away with it, but instead of playing it cool, they just freaked out and ducked like they were hiding something. So of course, the internet does what the internet does and found out who it was. And lo and behold, they were both married, just happened to not be to each other. Oh, and he was her boss. And now the entire world knows they're having an affair, and it's just a big mess. Now, I feel for both of them, and I feel for their family, because who hasn't made a mistake in their life? No one wants their mistake to be public like that, though. But it was. So, as I often do, I thought to myself, you know what? Something good will come from that for them, because I know life is always working in our favor, and is for them too. Maybe he was a workaholic and it's time to slow down and spend quality time with the kids, and now he'll have that time. Maybe she never saw her husband, so they grew apart. Who knows? But I have a feeling things are going to change big time in their lives. And right now it seems like they've destroyed everything they've worked hard to accomplish. But what if this pushes them into a place they wish they could be but couldn't find their way there, and now it kind of forces them there? Sometimes things happen like that because you veered off really far off the path you were meant for. Most of the time your gut knows that, and it's sending you hints along the way. And if they don't get through, sometimes it forces a wake-up call on you. I know for me, that's happened to me. And there have been times in my life that were really, really hard. But I look back and I think, man, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. I know there was a point in my life in my 20s where I wasn't making great decisions. Who's been there? And ultimately, I ended up having to leave a job that I really enjoyed and move to a new town, which was kind of a low point for me. But instead of feeling sorry for myself, I decided to start building homes with my dad. And we had the best time doing that. It was so much fun. But the interesting thing was that at one point, we entered into a home show, because where we were building, they were going to have a home show. And even though we had no budget to do it, so me and one of my best friends had to actually be the designers for the house. I wasn't really a designer at that point. So we didn't have any money to go buy furniture. So we dug through our own homes and attics to furnish this home show. Now, sounds horrible, but ultimately, we ended up winning Best Interior Design, even though we were up against builders that had much bigger budgets. But through that experience, I realized, hey, I have a knack for interior design. It's kind of natural. Now, I may have found my way to interior design eventually, but that kind of threw me into it because we had no choice. And now look at where I am here. I've been to interior design school. I have my own business. I love doing it. And it feels like play for me. I love it so much. And looking back, that low point wasn't just a setback. It was actually a setup for something better. It forced me to get creative, to lean on my family and friends, and to discover a passion I didn't even know was there. And that's the thing about these wake-up calls. They often come disguised as disasters, but they're really invitations to just realign what's meant for you. Now, if I hadn't hit that rock bottom in my 20s, I could still be grinding away at a job that was fine, but not really fulfilling, not exactly where I was supposed to be. Instead, I'm here running a business that lights me up every single day. And I'm doing this podcast, which I get to share stories like this with all of you guys. Now, I know some of you are thinking, okay, Heidi, that's great for you, but what about me? How do I see the good in my own messes? Because that's not easy to do. But the first thing really is you have to consider some of the things that you've overcome in the past. There's probably something you can point to in the past that happened that you thought was a disaster, and now you can look back and go, okay, I'm so glad that happened because of this. This wouldn't be here if I hadn't gone through that. So that helps a lot when you look back and you go, okay, yeah. The other thing is you have to tune into your gut. And I know I've been talking about our gut a lot lately, but there's so much wisdom for our lives sitting just in the back of our head, wishing that we would listen. You know, that little voice that's been whispering, this isn't right, or you deserve more. Don't ignore that. In the astronomer's CEO story, who knows what hints they were getting before that concert moment exploded everything. Maybe late nights at work felt off, or family time was slipping away. Your intuition is like a GPS. It's always trying to reroute you when you're going off course. When you start paying attention, sometimes maybe you start paying attention by journaling for just 5 minutes a day, and you can ask yourself, it's good to ask yourself this sometimes, what feels out of alignment right now? It could be your job, it could be a relationship, or even how you're spending your free time. Maybe write that down. Don't be judgmental or anything like that. Just write it down. Over time, you'll notice that patterns emerge, and that's your cue to make small changes before life forces a big one on you. The second thing really is to reframe the fallout. Like when something blows up, like a public mistake or a job loss or a relationship ending, it's easy to spiral into, oh, my life is over. That's it. It's over. But instead, try asking, okay, what opportunity is this creating? In my home building days, we had zero budget for that home show, but it pushed us to be resourceful and creative. And what if that CEO now has the chance to rebuild his family or start a new venture that's more balanced for him? For you, maybe losing a job opens the door to freelancing in something you're passionate about, or ending a toxic friendship or relationship makes space for a true connection that lights you up. I like to make mental notes of what good could come of a mess I'm in, and also what I can do better. Like, is there something I could have done differently to make it turn out better? And finally, lean on your support system. And maybe you don't have one, so you have to build one. I couldn't have turned that low point around without my friends and family. My best friend and I literally laughed through, we were raiding everybody's attics, and we got to celebrate that unexpected win together because we had really no budget and we still won, which was huge and really life-changing. But when life redirects you, you have to talk to people and surround the people who lift you up. That not the ones, stay away from the ones that drag you down. You don't want to be around them. And sometimes you have to go a little step further and talk to a life coach. I have had many coaches in my life, and let me tell you something. Sometimes just one little moment, 1 hour with a coach can help you get back on track. It's worked for me several times. And I do want to make sure while we're talking about this, we all understand that this mindset, it's not about toxic positivity. It's not saying, ignore the pain or pretend like everything's fine, because mistakes hurt, especially when they're public or when they affect others. In that Coldplay incident, families are hurting there. Careers are changing. It's messy. But acknowledging the pain and just feeling pain and learning from it, that is all part of the process. And then you have to look for the lesson. Now, for me, those bad decisions in my 20s taught me boundaries, and they also taught me self-respect. Without the regret, I wouldn't have the wisdom. And I'm sure you can say that for yourself too. And look, if you're in the middle of a wake-up call right now, remember this: you are not alone. We've all been there, and the other side is often brighter than you can imagine. Things really are working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel like it. Now, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. If this resonated with you, it helps more people find the show. And thanks for hanging out with me today. Now, go out there and trust the path, even when it's twisty. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.